Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. It is exactly 8:41 a.m. News and views on Salam Media. And our next guest is Dr. Faisal Suliman. He is the chairperson of SAMNET. And he's here to share some very important information with us. And I kind of was looking at this call to action and realized why it's important that he talks to us about call to action today, simply because I think we've all been so caught up in the genocide in Palestine, and rightly so, rightly so. And we need to continue keeping our eyes on that matter. But we also need to be aware of what's going down here in South Africa and how we can be even more proactive going forward. Coming regarding the upcoming elections. So let's hear what Dr. Faisal Suliman has to say about that. Assalamu alaikum to you. Welcome to the program.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, I did have my eye off the ball regarding this issue, and it's really very, very important that we get our younger people, possibly first-time voters. We need to get them, to start thinking seriously about where they're going to be putting their cross come the elections 2024, and more importantly, to register to vote.
No, absolutely, and it's not just the younger people. I think what we need to be saying, given the importance of this election and of what is unfolding in Gaza, that every eligible voter, even those who are at home, frail, unable to move, can use special vote. So we need absolutely everybody to register to vote. But you're quite right. The young people traditionally have not paid much attention to this, and we need to inform and educate. And more importantly, it's now not just a matter of niceties to vote for domestic issues. What has happened in Gaza, what happened in town over the weekend, what we've seen come out of the Zionist lobby is extremely eye-opening. And there are warning signals right there for the Muslim community, for the pro-Palestinian movement, and maybe we can talk about that a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. I'm thinking about the Moonshot Pack, and I think, if I cast my mind back a few months ago, pre this genocide having started in Palestine, I know my focus was really on the smaller parties, because here we were thinking the ANC is not going to get our votes. Who's our next best bet? Only to see post the carnage in Palestine, all the worms coming out the woodwork, like the smaller parties and the utterances by Gayton McKenzie and the likes. And that is scary. It's very, very scary. They have pledged to full support very openly for the Zionist and the Zionist cause.
So basically, look at what has happened. We're not talking here about some small ideological difference, some small sort of thing that has been happening for since 1948. We're talking here about mass genocide, unbridled, massacre. So when these parties come out and are unashamedly and unapologetically in support of genocide, and so one is the Zionist muscle, lobby flexing its financial muscle. Clearly, it cannot be on principle. It cannot be on human rights. So it has to be on money that these parties are doing this. Then you see the DA use its governance in Cape Town to deploy that kind of resources over the weekend in support and protection of the march in favor of Israel. Now, I don't think any of us have qualms in our country about people marching and demonstrating, and we all have to follow the law. But what the DA showed, this massive deployment of CPS, of Metro Police, of private security guards, and protection forces of the Zionist community, their own special little private army, is that it is not shy to use the resources of the state in support of Zionism.
Mm-hmm.
And if we extrapolate that combine, there hasn't even been inkling of, see the same DA that when the ANC had to vote for impeachment and vote against President Zuma, ex-President Zuma, were all about, no, don't toe the party line, vote your conscience, do the right thing. Well, Ghalib Kachalia did the right thing, and he was summarily dismissed by John Stearns, right, for speaking. And we're not, like I said, this is not a small thing we're talking about. This is mass murder. And so, as we're talking, people are literally being bombed to death. Patients in ICU have died because they have no fuel and no water and no electricity. And children, the nursery schools are being literally flattened while people are in it. So we're not talking about something small here. So what the DA has shown in its dismissal of Ghalib Kachalia is they don't care about freedom of expression and human rights, and in deploying resources in Cape Town against the pro-Palestinian movement, because you cannot go and put heavily armed police and Caspers and those buffaloes, water tankers, and then say, don't expect there's going to be a bit of a reaction. You provoke them by doing that, and then say, oh, no, these people don't respect freedom of association and freedom to march. Nonsense. But anyway, what it shows us, if we extrapolate this, if this lot get into power under the auspices of this moonshot pact, as Muslims, as people who have a say on LGBT and transgender and gender dysphoria, as a pro-Palestinian movement, we have got serious problems coming our way. This VA government, for a start, will not just assist, will make sure there are more people going from South Africa, including ex-Afrikaner soldiers, etc., going to Israel to kill more Palestinians. The transfer of sales and arms and everything will increase. Won't be surprised they, give the green light and help Israel in the UN, where South Africa has been a voice of reason and moderation at the UN. We're definitely not going to see any sort of prosecutions. You'll probably see a curtailment of pro-Palestinian movements in this country, monitoring of funds, spyware used on mosques, on madrasas, etc. The same sort of thing that is happening in Europe and the United States is going to happen to Muslims in this country. It's going to happen to the pro-Palestinian movement under a DA government. This is not hyperbole. We're going by extrapolation of what they've done. The use of resources in the Cape Town and use of money to virtually, the likes of the Patriotic Alliance, Mickey Mouse parties, one day talking about human rights and the next day, action essay, highly disappointing. Plus ACDP, nothing surprising there. But clearly, the Reverend Mayor in coins of silver, the little Judas, because it cannot be on principle, it cannot be on Christian morals that he is supporting genocide. So it has to be these few little 13 coins of silver.
Absolutely.
So this is a wake-up call. This is not me being dramatic or political grandstanding. The VA has shown it is not shy to use state resources in protection of Zionism. And if you imagine the same thing at the national level when they're in government, whether it's visas for Palestinians, suddenly monitoring of funds, making it difficult for people to send aid, putting blockage in the way, not allowing, they designate Hamas a terrorist organization, so you won't be able to quote Hamas in this country or invite someone from Hamas to come and speak here. This is not far-fetched. Moonshot reality is going to usher in a very dark period for Muslims in this country and for the pro-Palestinian movement.
So someone listening to us this morning, Dr. Faisal Suliman, are going to wonder what are their options going forward regarding voting for the supposed right party come the elections, given the poor track record of the ANC thus far. Regarding service delivery, corruption, etc., etc. I kind of thought that their fate was sealed. And then this genocide happens in Palestine, and we need to rethink the status quo regarding the South African upcoming elections.
We're not saying vote ANC at this stage. We're saying go register to vote. The vote is if I can use a bad analogy at the moment, the vote is like your bullet. You will decide which person to give it to next year sometime, March, April, whatever. A lot of things may change until Clearly, there's an opportunity here for those smaller parties, and there's 2 or 3 Muslims or Muslim parties, the smaller ones, to get the act in order, to understand that we are saying you cannot vote for this coalition, but at the same time, I understand people may not be keen to vote for the ANC, and we're not saying vote for the ANC. We're saying at the moment, you don't even have the bullet. Go register to vote so you have a bullet that you can then say, okay, my bullet I'm going to give to this one or to that one. That is a strategy for later on. But what's the point of having this discussion when you haven't even registered to vote?
Absolutely, absolutely. Right.
So go register to vote, get the numbers. You see, we don't have the money the Zionist lobby has got.
Yeah.
Clearly.
But we have members.
But we have numbers.
Dr. Faisal, we have the members, and I think we need to start using it in a more proactive manner. We need to, we need to pull in our young people. We need to change the mindset of our older people. We need to start thinking very strategically, and that's where we can start doing the work on the member.
My call is we don't have the money. They do, but we have the numbers. And what we'd like to see is whoever's listening to this need to go to their local imam, local Maulana, and they have the platforms in the mosques. It's time to start talking about this in the mosque. It's time to start talking about this on the various radio shows, on the various marches. For example, let me give an example. The event we are co-hosting with Dr. Matt Gilbert on Friday in Durban. We are putting up a table to register to vote. And perhaps you guys, Salam Media need to speak to the other hosts in Cape Town and Johannesburg to say, talk to the IEC, get material, put a desk at the event which we are doing, register to vote, a desk at the event, public education, every opportunity. It cannot be just this one interview. There has to be a sustained campaign now for the next week or two, for people to register to vote all across the radio, newspapers, the mosque, the lectures that people give on this. It has to be a sustained campaign.
Inshallah. Nice talking with you. We'll talk again in the coming weeks and months leading up to the elections. But well done to you and everyone at SAMNET for raising this flag as high as you possibly can. You take care, and all the best with Dr. Mads Gilbert's event in Durban. I do know that you and your wife are very instrumental in putting this together. So all the very best. I know it's going to be very well attended. Till the next time, as always, Assalamu alaikum to you.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That was Dr. Faisal Suliman, Chairperson of SAMNET, talking about the upcoming elections. And he does say call to action for everybody to ensure that they are registered to vote. We need to make our vote count come the 2024 elections. Okay, so standing by to talk with us now is Maulana Iqbal Adam, and he is going to talk about an amazing event that is going to be happening on the 2nd of December.